Stop Feeding the Boids. Written by James Sage. Illustrated by Pierre Pratt. Published by Kids Can Press. When Swanda first moved to the city, she missed the wildlife she had left behind. But not for long. Oh, look! What dear little birds! Come, Waldo, we'll get them a bird feeder all their own. Arf! Barked Waldo. So they did. How the birds love their new bird feeder, said Swanda. If only there weren't so many of them. Swanda's neighbors were annoyed, to say the least. Beat it! Scram! Shoo! Enough is enough already, said Mr. Kaminsky, the building's superintendent. He put up 2 plastic owls and a cat on the prowl to scare them away. But the pigeons were content to roost on top of them. Coo, coo, went the pigeons. Coo, 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 coo. There are still too many pigeons, Waldo. We will have to do something about this, said Swanda. What you need is some sound, practical advice, suggested a neighbor. Arf, arf, barked Waldo. So Swanda paid a visit to a pest control officer. It sounds like a no-win situation to me, who directed her to the keeper of birds at the city zoo. I'm afraid the problem with pigeons was ever thus. Who put her in touch with an exotic bird fancier from Peru. Remember, dearie, birds of a feather flock together. But Swanda was no better off than before. Then Lexi, her friend from the deli, had a bright idea, and she mentioned it to Angelo. And Angelo told Sonia, and Sonia told Danny, and Danny told Louise, and Louise told Yasmin, and Yasmin told Igor, and Igor told Mr. Kaminsky. And then they all went around to tell Swanda. Swanda, you gotta stop feeding the boids! Which is what Swanda did. And suddenly the street was peaceful again, to everyone's relief. Mr. Kaminsky, in particular, was glad to know his pigeon-chasing days were over. But the next morning, when Swanda was out walking with Waldo, she happened to notice something shimmering and dancing in the pet shop window. Oh, Waldo, look! What dear little fish! Arf! Warned Waldo. A little later, when Swanda arrived home with her fish, she immediately wondered if they might be happier in something slightly larger. Arf! Arf! Warned Waldo. With a few friends to keep them company? Arf! 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 Warned Waldo. But somehow, Waldo could tell that Swanda wasn't really listening.